Well, Seattle is known for Microsoft and Boeing, but Seattle in the state of Washington is also a biotech hub. And to talk about the patent applications, particularly in this industry, we're joined by Stacey Ravetta, who's with Perkins Coie. Thanks very much for joining us here at IPBC Asia. So actually, how much development have we seen in the biotech space where patents are concerned?
I think that we've seen in the last couple of years the volume of transactions start to go back up again. I mean, like every industry, there's peaks and valleys, and we were in a valley for a while. But in Seattle, with companies like Juno Therapeutics that's doing some cancer therapies and that sort of thing, we're seeing a lot more activity. They were one of the first companies to do an IPO in the biotech sector in a long time.
Now, obviously, a lot of people who might be new to patents would be thinking of the smartphone wars as kind of a landmark set of events. Have we seen a similar thing, or is something coming up in the biotech scene that would rival that?
I don't think so. I haven't seen it in the same way. I mean, the biotech deals are different on a lot of levels because there's one molecule and maybe a couple of patents, so there's not, it's just not the same kind of starting field, for the disputes. I mean, it just doesn't. People do a lot more freedom to operate kind of searches and that sort of thing because they can. With a smartphone, you just really can't do that, with any kind of efficiency.
It sounds like your field, particularly focusing on biotech, is a much calmer water compared to many others.
I think it is, and people have a tendency to be pretty cooperative, I think. I mean, at least in the deals that I do. I mean, I represent research institutions and companies, so you could see a lot of industry collaboration with academia and that sort of thing in biotech.
There are obviously some instances in the biotech scene that do make the headline from time to time.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I'm thinking of a particular case just in the last year where a particular drug went from just a couple of dollars to thousands of dollars. Now, obviously, that sort of thing makes the headlines.
Right.
To what extent was there a feeling in the patent industry that such a price increase was deserved, given the amount of research, time, effort, money that goes into researching drugs?
Right. I mean, I think that people in the industry kind of understand that aspect of it, that people have to be able to return the investment, or they're not going to continue to invest in new therapies and new drugs that make a big difference in people's life. Like the EpiPen. I mean, there's a lot of people's lives that have been saved by the EpiPen, and there's a lot of development that goes into that. So I think people kind of have a general misunderstanding about kind of how drugs work, and maybe a little bit of a socialist kind of idea about, that it should be done just because it's good and not, for money on some levels.
I guess to an extent the general public would understand the concerns around getting back a return on the investment.
Right.
When the company that has spent years and millions, possibly billions, developing it, then recoups that investment.
Right.
But perhaps the members of the public are not quite so understanding when the patent is sold to somebody else and they then try to maximize profit.
I haven't seen a lot of biotech patents in the secondary market, though. You don't see, at least in my experience, there's not a lot of NPEs that have really made a significant investment in biotech kind of inventions, just because they are so hit or miss. I mean, it's much easier for an NPE to invest in a smartphone patent, or that, to say there's a lot of them, and I mean, it's just a different numbers game. The numbers don't add up the same way.
Yes. Thank you very much. Stacey Ravetta from Perkins Coie in Seattle, joining us here in Shanghai at IPBC Asia 2016.